Hey Sainers, welcome to Saints TV Weekly. Another week, another Saints TV Weekly. And as always, as you know very well, sponsored by our friends at Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Again, I'm on the Ethiopia blend. It's amazing. Blueberry cheesecake, dried peach, purple grapes, raisin. Get behind them. Head on over to inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au and then use the discount code SAINTS30 and you get 30% off all of their coffee products. Alright, so it wasn't really the most exciting week at Moorabbin, to be honest. There wasn't much going on, so it might be a bit of a quicker episode today, but let's get into it. So the first one is the delisted free agency is actually pretty close to getting underway. It's kind of just snuck up on us a little bit. There are two periods of the delisted free agency window, and the first one is from November 3 to November 9. So I believe that's on Wednesday. It opens up. And then the second window is from November 11 to November 15. So those two windows there will run for approximately the next 2 weeks. And that gives us some time to pick up some players that might fill some gaps. Tom Campbell, that obviously will be done, I believe. That's going to be an easy one. You know, a third tier ruck, fourth tier ruck, just as backup. The other one is Charlie Constable, who I'd like to get done, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of clubs that are going to be interested in him. But we've been kind of interested in him for a couple of years, so I feel like if it doesn't get done now, it'll never get done. Patrick Naish, I believe we've been talking to him, so we've delisted Jack Loney. Naish could probably come in and play a more versatile small forward role, which would be nice. And then you've got Michael Gibbons, who's a small forward. If we go with Naish, I don't think Gibbons gets a chance, but if we don't go with Naish, maybe he does get a chance. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Oliver Hanrahan, the midfielder from Hawthorn, delisted, highly regarded, someone that I believe we've been interested in and we've been looking at, so that could be one that could happen. Blake Schlensog, the one I've been talking about for months basically, is the back that was delisted from Geelong a couple of years ago, and he's basically the pick of the bunch here, I think, because he fits a need, and he's good, and he's big, so we're going to trial Josh Battle at centre-half back, but I'd like to see Schlensog get a chance. I think that he would be a really good pick as well. And then Trent Dumont, I think could be good. I mean, he's still young enough. He's capable. He's not a bad kick on him. But, yeah, I don't know if he fits a need right now. I think we'd probably go to draft and get the youngsters and get the talent through there for the midfield. In terms of here, I think this will fit more of the back line and fill gaps where we can, like the rucks, the back line, maybe even kind of a rotating mid-forward type position, and that's about it. I don't think we're going to go too hectic on it, but it is open for a good 2 weeks, so if players don't move to the clubs that they're supposed to, I feel like we'd keep an eye on that, and we'll have a big say in what happens in this window. Now the other interesting development this week, Grant Thomas and President of St Kilda, Andrew Bassat, are scheduled to have a meeting this week. Potentially today. Apparently, Andrew Bassat and Grant Thomas have already met. They've already actually spoken, and that might have been a week or two ago. No parties are really coming out and talking about the details of it, but basically they're going to have a second meeting, and there is rumours, and I know I said last week that Grant Thomas wasn't really interested in the board, but there are rumours circulating that if there was a chance, if the club allowed it, if they offered it to him, he would think about it and potentially join the board. So this could be a big push for the club. I mean, if we got Larry Bang into, got him a seat on the board, and then you've got someone like Grant Thomas who's just sold a business for over 150 million and, is a Saints fan through and through and passionate Saints fan at that, like all of us, is that something we want? Is that something that's gonna get us closer to a premiership? Because right now I think we're all at that point where no matter what, we just want to do whatever it takes to get us to that second premiership. We don't really care about a third or fourth or a fifth premiership. We just want that second one. We want to feel that feeling that Melbourne felt this year. And if this gets it done, I think we're all for it. But at the moment, we need to make sure that if this board thing is going to happen, that it happens for the right reasons and the right people are in place, and it's not going to create any sort of rifts. It's not going to create any sort of internal issues. But at this point, Grant Thomas and Bassat to meet this week, second meeting between the two parties, and it'll really decide the next steps on this whole situation. Now, some good news on Saints TV Weekly. It's really good to see that the Danny Frawley Centre for Health and Wellbeing that was announced, I think, maybe start of the year. Construction is going really well on it. I've put some photos now on the screen for you. and it's scheduled to be opening up around early 2022, they believe. So Moorabbin is ripped to shreds at the moment. I think they're returfing, they're repiping underground, they're really redoing it. It's going to be immaculate for the start of the AFLW season, hopefully. But the good news is that the Danny Frawley Centre, despite lockdown, despite everything happening, constructions, not being able to work and everything, it's getting done, and it looks like it's going to be scheduled for an early 2022 launch, and I can't wait to be able to go to RSEA Park when they open the doors to it, and we can all walk through there. Good on the club for getting behind Danny Frawley and organising this Centre for Health, because it's amazing, and can't wait to get there at the start of 2022 to walk into the centre and check it out. Alright, now for the fun time, the question time. Alright, first one off the bat, this one's from Ahern. The addition of Enright means our defence will be how good next season? Well, I don't know. I can't predict the future, but what I can tell you is that Enright did a great job with Matthew Scarlett at Geelong, and their defence was, publicised as being one of the best in the league, one of the sterniest, one of the most difficult to score against. So I would say we're in pretty good hands. This one's from Derby. Would Grant Thomas's board change actually change much? Well, based on what he said, yes. If it influences the approach that Brett Ratton takes, and that then in turn influences what he says to the players and how they train and kind of the key messaging that he says during the week in the lead up to a game, that could affect things, then I would say it'd be a significant change. So again, similar to the previous question, it's hard to predict the future, but Grant Thomas is a passionate man. He doesn't do business to just sit at his desk and twiddle his thumbs. He's there to get it done and to be successful. And I know a lot of people will comment and say, well, he didn't win flags in 04 and everything, but he got us bloody close with a very young team, and he pretty much built the nucleus of the team that took us to the grand finals in 09 and 10 as well. So I feel like it'd be a good announcement to get him on the board and bang as well. So yeah, I think things would change significantly. Shane's asking, who do we draft at pick 9? I don't know. I've always said best available, but I've heard a few people talk about someone like a Finn Callahan coming up, but I don't know if he's too similar to some of our academy boys, and even Machida Owens is rumoured to be going inside the top 20 now. So I feel like our pick 9, which is pick 11, could become 2 picks in the top 20 if we trade out, maybe to a Brisbane, which I've said many times before. So I think the club's going to have a bit of a difficult time on the first draft night, not knowing really where Machida Owens and Windhager are going to go. But at this stage, I think that Finn Callahan could be a really good pick, but it really does depend on what we think is going to happen to the NGA boys. Jacob's asking, what would you say our biggest weakness is going into next season? I would say probably still midfield depth. I think that the backline's okay. It's definitely the midfield. When you look at our midfield and where it stacks up against the likes of Melbourne and the likes of the Dogs, which are the two of the benchmark teams that we're chasing at the moment, it's a bit of a way off, but a lot can change with the draft this year and with any players that we pick up in the delisted free agency. So our weakness is midfield, but it's something that I think we can fix fairly quickly. All right, I think that's it, Sainers. I think that is all for Saints TV Weekly. A nice, sharp, quick one to start the week. You've got a long weekend. You're very lucky. Enjoy it. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day. Get outside, enjoy some fresh air, and also get some Inglewood coffee into you and enjoy your week. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for supporting the channel across all the social media platforms, and I'll see you next week for another Saints TV Weekly. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your week, and go you mighty Sainers.